This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses. Right, one thing that I think is a little bit difficult to predict what people are going to like in a device is factory presets. And one thing that I think Line 6 have not necessarily nailed in the past would be factory presets. There are companies that do really good factory presets that do show off, like the amp modeling and stuff. Fractal, for instance, have always had really good kind of starting points. And Neural DSP with the Quad Cortex actually, I think, have some really impressive sounding factory presets. Largely it's down to whoever's dialed them in, right? It's like there are great tones in all these devices, but it's sort of difficult to match it up with what you think people are going to like and stuff. Anyway, so the new firmware actually comes with a new set of presets in factory slot 1, which I'll show you how to do quickly here. But these were programmed in by a chap called Igor, who is not only one of the chaps who codes, is a important part of the Helix family, but is also front of house guy for Animals as Leaders, and great guitarist as well. Actually has a really good ear for this stuff. If you've tried any of the Metallurgy stock presets, he dialed those in. Yeah, I think it comes down largely factory presets to who has dialed them in. For instance, if I dialed in the factory presets, there's a good chance that 90% of people would hate those as well. So of course it's difficult to get right for everybody. I'm obviously coming at this as a Strat player who's not necessarily hugely heavily focused, but I just wanted to go through some of the new ones and sort of react in real time to those and see what they're like. Here's how to get these factory presets. You want to make sure that you've checked that in factory 1 and factory 2 on your presets that you don't have any presets in here that you've not saved, because to get the factory presets we're going to need to essentially sort of factory reset and then get hold of the factory presets. That's weird. Right, so just check you haven't got any presets in there still, and then run into your HX edit and do the backup thing, and then we need to factory reset it, which I think involves pressing Restore Stock Presets and Set Lists, hold foot switches 7 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These two here. Now, again, I want to reiterate, make sure that you don't have any presets in factory preset 1 or 2, and make sure you've done your backup first. So press this, hold down 7 and 8. We'll restore stock presets and set lists. So this is going to wipe essentially your existing presets and stuff, so that's why you need to for sure make sure that you back them up. Okay, so now I think we are back to stock settings. These should now have, if you've done this properly, cabs at the end, and so yeah, this is no longer legacy. Let's just jump over to Helix Edit and I'll show you how to restore your stuff. And we open up HX Edit, and hopefully you've already backed your Helix up. So then restore from backup. This one was taken on November the 2nd, and presets, if you see here, select which items from this backup you wish to restore to your Helix hardware. I don't want to restore factory 1 or factory 2. Aside from that, I'm going to go for restore backup. Yes. And that's kind of all there is to it. You should now have your factory presets as well as own presets that you'd already created, and it should also kind of return your defaults and global settings to how you like them. Hopefully that's helpful. Also, I should probably point out that I don't actually get paid by Line 6 to make these kind of videos. There are actually other modelling companies that have paid me kind of more than Line 6 or Yamaha, so if you feel like there's a bias towards Line 6 stuff, it is mostly because this is just what I use day in, day out, more than anything else, so that's just follow my interests. So here is the new US double norm. We've also got a red squeeze here. So that to me is a very reasonable sounding preset. So already we're off to a good start, I think. It has a bit of that kind of hollowness to the sound, sort of like a bit of a gap in the mids that I associate with like a Fender amp. Obviously this one to me seems quite bright, but without that deranged master you don't have that roll off. So for me, I'd probably put in front of this something like a tube screamer with a bit of a mid push rather than the deranged master, which cuts off a load of bass. But does a voxy thing, and I think has a useful sound. This here, the Plexi Bright. I mean, to me that's pretty great feeling, pretty great sounding. So that's definitely a cool thing. Rectifier. One's a little bit hotter. I'm just going to turn things down a smidge. You know, kind of got a bit of tightness to it as well. I'm digging that. A4 normal. With the minor tool. Again, that one to me, I really like the sound of that straight out of the tin. What else we got? RevGen Purple, let's try this. I mean, that's going to make a few heavy people happy. Yeah, I think those, for sure, those revs have got to be the best sounding stock presets for heavy stuff that we've ever had in the Helix, right? I think instead of the Vox stuff, I probably would gravitate towards the mattress anyway in the Helix. Digging that. We've got an archetype lead PRS Archon. I think again this is going to be something that makes heavy people happy. Yeah, just again tones that I don't think you'd have found anything quite like that back in the old factory presets. So cheers to that, Igor. Let's try this one here, Brit J45 Bright. And just a really great straightforward. A great thing, you know, straight out of the box, sounding like what you'd want it to sound like, I think. Right, let's keep going. Yeah, some cool stuff there. Chromatico Norm, this is like a Fender style amp. And I guess also what's kind of cool about some of these presets, or most of them actually, we're just really dealing with stripped back amp tones, right? We've generally got like the amp, the cab, into some sort of ambient sort of room sound. So you could probably plug into most of these things. And get some really cool tones without really having to worry too much about dialing in. Bit of hair on that then. Right, let's just keep motoring forward until we spot something else. Right, here we go. This one I think is going to be my favourite thing. So this is based on a real train wreck. So for sure, I think a load of people are going to love that, right? don't think that the previous presets would have been anywhere near as kind of just straight ready as this. So this is now the Lone Star. To the question, do the Helix presets still suck? It's a definite no. These, to me, are some of the best tones, definitely, that I've heard factory preset wise. Make the Helix, I think, a lot more approachable. If you were just coming to this for the first time, you can now actually find usable presets. So I'm more than satisfied now that I think the work that Igor has put in with this first set of factory presets has really paid off in quite a big way, because for me, when I went back through the factory presets, I've done this before, it was a little bit hit and miss, you know, like I could definitely find a few tones in there. I did a video on it that I thought would work well for certain things, but now I can sort of see that each of these has like a valid space. So whether they're the cleaner presets, the Fender style presets, to me it just sounds like they're much more ready to be used and a lot more close to probably what I would try to dial in potentially. Things that aren't like fizzy in the top end, just big full sounding guitar tones. And I think a big part of that must be the new kind of cabs, because for heavy players, certainly, I don't think most heavy players would choose to record a guitar tone with the mic straight over the cone. I think most, you know, gain players would go a little bit off of axis with that kind of thing. So I think it's a two-pronged attack there, really, isn't it? And not only have they got Igor to dial some of these in, who clearly has a great ear for this stuff, in my opinion, but also he's now working with these new cabs, which I think definitely more tweakable, and I think in general probably a little bit closer to the sound I would have had in my head. And you know, you don't necessarily have to use things like high cuts so much anymore. You can just, you know, experiment with mic positioning. Let me know your thoughts and give those factory presets a try. I think you'll dig them. I'm going to put together an introduction now where I use just factory preset tones and see if I can enjoy those.